What is the keto diet? A diet that has been gaining in popularity in Silicon Valley reportedly can help those practicing it burn 10 times as much fat as a standard diet. The ketogenic diet is a high-fat, low-carb plan where healthy fats make up 80% of a person's daily calories and protein 20%. It involves eating only 50 grams of carbohydrates a day, roughly one plain bagel or a cup of white rice. By comparison, the USDA recommends people eat 225 to 325 grams of carbs a day. When carbs are taken out of the diet, the body burns up glucose reserves and then breaks down stored fat into fatty acids. These fatty acids move to the liver and are converted into ketones. The brain and other organs use up ketones in a process called ketosis. Some studies have found a low-carb, high-fat diet could promote weight loss, improve focus, and hold off age-related diseases. Love dieting? Keep watching. North Korean defector's stomach full of nasty parasites. The contents of a recent North Korean defector's stomach paint a hopeless picture of what life is really like inside the hermit kingdom. The North Korean border guard was shot several times while fleeing across the demilitarized zone to South Korea last week. Medical staff treating the defector say they found numerous parasites inside his body. Several of these were removed from his digestive tract, including one 27-centimeter-long roundworm. They were likely caused by farming practices in the north where human excrement is used for fertilizer due to a lack of chemical fertilizer. Known as night soil, this practice is notorious for spreading parasites and disease. And that god-awful practice was championed by this guy. And he's full of it. Very full.
Bears becoming vegetarian because of global warming. Are you hot? Looks like global warming is getting so unbearable that grizzly bears in Alaska are now going vegetarian. According to a new study, grizzly bears on Kodiak Island changed their diets due to climate change and started eating berries instead of salmon. Normally, researchers would see grizzlies eating large amounts of sockeye salmon from streams in preparation for the winter. In the summers of 2014 and 2015, the bears were no longer seen hunting for salmon. The bears were found in the hills eating elderberries. Warmer temperatures were causing the berries to ripen earlier. This meant that salmon and berries were available at the same time. Elderberries contain less protein compared to salmon and require less energy to digest, leading to faster weight gain for bears. The change in diet was also found to be affecting the bear's natural habitat because fewer fish carcasses in the forests meant less nutrients being absorbed into the soil. Eating beans over meat could save the planet. A new study shows Americans should probably eat more beans than meat if the country wants to meet its emissions target. Cows emit methane due to a digestive process known as enteric fermentation. Most of the methane is released through belching, and only a small percentage is produced through flatulence. The massive amount of greenhouse gas produced by cows is comparable to the pollution produced by cars. Growing pulses is greatly beneficial to the environment, as they are able to directly draw nitrogen from the atmosphere and convert it into nutrients. This means a reduction in the amount of fossil fuels used to produce nitrogen to create these nutrients. It is also much more water efficient to grow pulses than to raise cattle. Beans also provide similar nutrients to the human body as beef, without the increased risk of developing type 2 diabetes, stroke, and colorectal cancer. Research shows changing the population's diet from beef to beans could help the U.S. meet its emissions target by 2020. Another study published in April recommended substituting meat with crickets and mealworms in order to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Would you give up your juicy steaks for beans and worms?
10-month-old baby weighs 62 pounds. Luis Manuel Gonzalez is a 10-month-old baby. The only problem is, he already weighs a whopping 62 pounds, and doctors can't figure out why. Luis was born weighing 8 pounds, but then his parents quickly noticed him pack on the pounds at a phenomenal rate. After only 1 month, his clothes were already too small for him, so his parents had to buy him way bigger clothes. Doctors initially suspected Luis may have Prader-Willi syndrome, a genetic disorder that causes an endless appetite, which can lead to chronic overeating and obesity. However, that diagnosis was ruled out after his mother explained that Luis isn't an excessive eater and eats a normal amount of food for his age. Physicians are now waiting on tests to see if Luis's condition may have been caused by his mother's unhealthy diet when he was in the womb. If that's the case, hormone shots may be able to improve his condition.